square bodies in the garage. Let's do some work. This is my 1984 K15. It's a GMC. Sierra High Classic, I think, is official badge it would have had once upon a time. Clearly it does not have that anymore. This thing is my daily driver. I have about 1,800 miles on it now since I built it. Pop this thing open. It's got the electric windows, electric locks. AC is functioning up until the last video where I showed you it popped a fuse. Needs a headliner. Needs the dash to be completed. Needs some carpet and cleaning up. The back bumper on this thing is, from what I understand, I ordered the wrong bumper. I think I got the bumper for the Suburban. Brings it up some. Now you can't open the tailgate. And or I got the brackets for this. Somewhere there's a miscommunication here. Bumper or brackets are too high. You can't open the tailgate because it tags down on the bumper. I'd like to fix that today. But the reason old Gaddis is in here and we're not riding around in the streets on it is something's going on with the AC. It popped the fuse, the 30 amp fuse in the fuse housing, painless wiring harness system. I'm relatively confident I put all the wires together right. Everything has been functioning for a fair amount now, but there is that possibility. So I'm going to walk down all the wires just to see what's going on. I want to see what all is running off of that fuse itself. I think it should just be the AC and heater, so basically the fan. Yeah, basically the fan, the electric fan, and then the on-offs for the AC compressor, stuff like that. So shouldn't be too much draw, especially 30 amp, but we will walk it all down, see if we can find any chips or whatever. It's got to be done. This is Texas, and we're not even into May yet, and we're already into the 80s and 100% humidity, so she's sweltering. And if the day was still beautiful, to be honest, we also have another problem, which is the pollen right now, man. I'm sure everybody's the same way, but man, it is high pollen count. I mean, you can taste the pollen in the air. So anyway, we're gonna dig into this thing, and I'll get you back whenever we do something interesting. All right, I got my painless wiring harness. I got my Hayes book for the square body. And I have the shop manual for 1984, which is what it is. We're going to use that to look at what all we have in the AC system that wasn't replaced with the painless wiring. We're going to look through painless, and we might take a glance at Hayes. Probably not. These two normally cover everything you need. These you can just get on Amazon. So I mean, I have my square body and I have my Camaro, both 1984s. Both the first Camaro we bought and my square body are 84s. The next square body we're going to be working on is an 84. So yeah, hit those up. If you got an old truck, car, whatever, you're trying to figure stuff out, just make it work like it used to. These things come in pretty handy. Now at this point in filming, I'd love to show you that I found an error, I found a short, I found some obvious visual damage to the electrical side of the AC system. I did not. But my footage didn't come through right, so life goes on. So I threw a fresh 30 amp fuse and went underneath the truck to get started on the back bumper. Checking to make sure my leaks are all still here. We got a rear seal leak on the transfer case going onto the drive shaft, which blows all over the top. I think we have a leak right here. I can't imagine that coming from anywhere else at this point. I don't know why it's leaking there, but she is. And then I think once we get from there, there's a little drip right here maybe. We're gonna wipe it all down. The big leak is actually up there. It's a rear main seal leak. Alright, so my plan here is pretty simple. I think I'm gonna pull the bolts. The inside brace has a second or a third bolt hole in the back. So I think if I cut that off and I just like rotate it down and in some, I can drill some fresh holes and it should line right up. That's the plan. But I do have to cut this. Hopefully when I go back together I'll be able to, I don't know, scab that together a little nicer. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Alright, so this is the passenger side. Goes in like so. I gotta cut the bottom edge probably back to here and then trim the top off. Alright, now I chopped up my braces. That one I chopped one on the wrong side because I thought I could go further in, but clearly I cannot. And then I used a paint marker to mark where the bolt holes are. They look to be about the same spot. So I'm gonna punch a hole through those, and then I'm gonna use a stepper bit to make that hole bigger. Good morning. Yesterday I didn't bring my camera, but now that we got the back bumper working, where we can open the tailgate, we came over and loaded up all my scrap from the field. Didn't seem to squat the truck too bad, a little bit. Back bumper's on, and basically just cut the brackets, rolled it down and further in, and now it's much tighter, and it's also you know, you can open and close the tailgate without it touching. Win-win. We're about to load up and go and scrap all this. So I'll give you an explanation about that. I've never been to a scrap yard before, so if you had never been, this is what happens. Alright, so we are now at the scrap yard. I rolled across the scales first. They got these arms just swinging, so I don't know exactly what the next step is, but we're sitting in line. I guess when it's our turn, we'll go up and throw everything out. It's crazy how much scrap they have here. I mean, look at this pile. That's a lot. All right, so first we dropped the short iron. That's anything just straight iron, and they took a couple of other things. And then next it says light iron and motor blocks, but we threw that with the short iron, so I don't know if we'll do that. So maybe now clean cast, or maybe the tin. Now all we have left is the aluminum and basically the radiators, compressors, or not compressors, but condensers, that kind of stuff. All right, so I got for radiators $36, aluminum breakage is minimum 50%, was $21, electric motors $4.25, short steel was $51, and loose tin was $22. Also, looks like the truck weighed about 5470 with still the aluminum, which was 121 pounds, the radiator, which is 16 pounds, 25 pounds, so about 200 pounds worth of stuff, and me and my brother in here, so probably about 4,800 pounds for the truck. All right, we're back to the garage. I have a big old mess to clean up. our littlest human has decided to make some kind of wood project. I don't think he even knows what it's going to look like, but he's in here working, you know. So I'm going to do some sweeping, clean up around here. And then I'm going to edit all the video I have so far, see where we're at, and then we'll get fired back up. Well, we got a couple important things done this episode. We finally fixed my rear bumper so that we can use the tailgate. That's been a real pain. Like, it's just a car if the tailgate doesn't come down. I hauled off all the scrap that I'd been piling up in my mom's pasture. So I feel good about that. Got that out of the way. Kind of learned the ropes on scrapping, so it's pretty fun. We did not fix the AC. That one's pretty disappointing. We will have to dig into that some more. I didn't see any signs of any burnt, nicked, cut wires. No components were burnt up except for the fuse itself. I replaced the fuse. The AC fan or the vent fan comes on. AC clutch does not kick on, so I'm sure it's somewhere in that system, going from the power from the AC controller down to the clutch on the compressor. Just have to figure it out. Anyhow, I hope this one was an enjoyable one. We got some cool stuff done. We'll see y'all next time.